Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. I mean, we might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are... CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, because they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentle way.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive pardon, whether he can issue President's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would
can't?
Be a gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, Jamie Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, Jamie Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt, or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jamie
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he get a
about
pardon
this.
also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that
the
committee?
seeking of pardons is
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. Are you going to condemn that pardon?
Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people. Commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama-Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Have got to say, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Bada bing, bada boom. I got so much stuff today, so we're going to go through this fast. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel where, you know, my birthday's coming up. I almost forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I'll no longer be 60. I'll be like, wow, how did that happen? Oh, another year went by. That's all. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. And I figured, I didn't know what to feature. So I figured, you know, this chick that they had it's doing that thing again. My God, I don't know how to fix this permanently. Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, they had the NPR lady on a congressional hearing or something. And she was fascinating. She's like, you know, she couldn't seem to reconcile the idea that NPR may be a biased source of anything, and that they have a liberal bias. And it's really strange that she couldn't seem to reconcile that. Oh, what the hell's going on? God, I hate this. This is driving me nuts. Is this happening in real time? I bet it is, isn't it? Okay, there's that. Maybe we just brighten it up a little bit. All right. God, I'm not going through this today. I'm just going to look orange. I don't care. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't concentrating on you. I was concentrating on that thing over there that you can't see. Johnny, get your shit together. Anyway, so with that in mind, let's just get to it. First in the chat today is, of course, Mr. Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. Yeah, there we go. Took a second for it to ring. Also, Avocados Diablo, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day, because you have already dropped a couple bucks in the tip jar with the admonition that, well, here it says, have you seen the video of Trump speaking at the Women's History Month event? He was in rare form. Halfway through, he went on his total double entendre tangent about history knowing him as the fertilization president, and had a room full of women cracking up. So, yes, and as I said in the chat, I have seen, well, I haven't seen the clip itself, but I have it queued up today. So we'll watch that amongst other things. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Greatly appreciated. And you're a great American. Also in the chat, good morning, Kara Soldier, Tyre, Alexander, The Scourge is in the house. Good morning. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg, JB's here, and Amazing Disgrace is in the house. K. Shaw, what's up? Is that a new Abby? Oh, you got a new Abby there, K. Shaw. I just noticed that. Was that like that yesterday? No, you had the old one yesterday. Anyway, welcome, Kirsten. And Lord Stanhope is here. Who else is here? Wow, there's nobody here. Well, I shouldn't say nobody because all of yous are here. But where is everybody? Maybe it's this guy started really way too early or something. I don't know. But what the hell's going on there? Okay, that's not too bad. I'm looking at it. I don't know what to do about the old color saturation thing. It's just, for whatever reason, it is. And my gray shirt looks brown. I don't know. Who cares? All right. So, like I said, tons of news. Anyone else showing up yet? No? 14 people, 5 likes? That's not a very good ratio. Get to work, people. Let's go. By the way, thank you to the people who have shared the stream already. Starting now. Anyway, like I said, we're going to be talking about this NPR hearing because they're talking about defunding public broadcasting, which I still haven't figured out why we still have public broadcasting. There's really no need for it. It's not like we don't have enough left-wing opinions and discovery Discovery Animal Channel type things, and Sesame Street is a very, very successful franchise, maybe one of the most successful franchises in children's television history as far as being profitable. So I still don't know why they have to think about having to fund, because all the congressmen, one of the congressmen I saw in this hearing was they had a picture of like some Sesame Street characters behind them. We're gonna defund Sesame Street. They want to take this away from your kids. Sesame Street has made billions of dollars over its long, expansive run since 1969. In fact, do I dare say this? Because Tyre's going to just beat me over the head with it. I saw the very first episode of Sesame Street when I was a kid. In 1969, my mother knew that this was coming on. It wasn't like the start of MTV where they had weeks and weeks of whatever. But yeah, when I was like, I think I was 5 years old. When I turned 5, it was before my 5th birthday. But yeah, they said, oh, there's going to be this new show. It's going to be called Sesame Street, and turned on the TV. Public Broadcasting. It was Channel 2 in Omaha, and. Wait, Channel 2 or Channel 12? No, it's Channel 12 in Omaha. It was Channel 12. And saw the very first Sesame Street. And it was cool. I was like, this is cool. These little puppets are talking to me and stuff. And there's, Gordon, Maria, and it was a cool show for a little kid. And so there you go. Anyway, wait, good morning. Mrs. Hayes is in the house. Good morning, Mrs. Hayes. Anyway, JB dropped 3 in the tip jar. Now you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. JB says, I just finished the Human Condition trilogy. It was great. One point in the final movie, the protagonist, who is a socialist, ends up in a Soviet work camp as a POW. Even here, he still clings to his ideals. This was amazing to see. The meme is real. Wow, what is the Human Condition trilogy? I'm gonna have to check that out. Is that on a particular network? You don't have to put a new super chat. Where is the Human Condition trilogy? Where can you find it? Is it like on Amazon, or is it on Max or Netflix or something? Tell me where that's. Criterion. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I see lots of people are talking about Sesame Street now that I mentioned it. Sesame Street isn't PBS anymore. Hasn't been since 19. No, I realized that. It got bought out. The Children's Television Network, or whatever it is, bought out Sesame Street, or something bought it out. Is it not on PBS anymore? I didn't know that. PBS is not Sesame Street, or Sesame Street isn't on PBS anymore. Fuck Elmo, he's just a Greg Grover ripoff. Yeah, kind of is, isn't he? But Grover did stupid shit. Instead of just being cute, Grover did stuff that if the kids tried it, they might maim themselves. So, because remember, like all the Super Grover stuff, and kids wanted to be Super Grover. Anyway, all right. So, no, we want to defund Iran, Sesame Street. Well, that too. We can defund them all. I didn't like that Elmo took over Sesame Street for a while. Yeah, I kind of did. It was like all Elmo all the time. But now don't they have a transgender Sesame Street character too? And it's like, oh fuck, my grandchildren better not be watching that shit. And wow, I didn't know Big Bird was prehistoric TV icon. Okay, Tyre, I got you. In fact, because Big Bird was there. The original Sesame Street didn't have Snuffleupagus, though. Snuffleupagus was like 4 or 5 seasons in, where Big Bird started having hallucinations. I honestly think Big Bird was on acid the whole run of Sesame Street. Big Bird is on acid because that dumbass bird was seeing shit, and oh wait, Snuffleupagus ended up being real, right? Eventually. Anyway, PBS sold to HBO so they could produce more Downton Abbey. Oh, is that what it is? It's HBO now. Grover was originally black. I don't remember Grover ever being black. I don't remember. Maybe he was. When I was a little kid, I don't remember all the puppets. Grover was blue as far as I knew. Grover never got AIDS, so he wins. There you go. Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch was my favorite character too. I guess kids just, especially little boys, like shit that's dirty. And Oscar the Grouch was just funny to me. I thought Oscar the Grouch, when I was a little kid, I thought Oscar the Grouch was hilarious. And for the longest time, he never showed his dainty side. Anyway, I was saying thank you to the people who tweeted out the show. First, Somnambule Nation dropped the link on their own. You promoted the show yourself. I appreciate that. And also dropped this Let's Go. This dude is going off. All right. And then thank you to Amazing Disgrace. Putting Elmo behind a jet engine probably is not a good idea. Also, thank you, JB, with Jin Saki from Ghost of Tsushima video game. That's nice. Let us go. And then we got what else? And then thank you, Reaction on Puerto Rico, K-Shell, Somnambule Nation, and JB for reposting my tweet or the show somewhere there. Simon Wilkins dropping some. What is this? It's like, all right, Morning Night Live, blah blah blah. Let's see, clementines with hot sauce, 3 cheese pizza pops with Concord grape jam and some sort of lemon sauce, and the same as a sandwich with the hazelnut and jam. Okay, so there you go. There's some. These are the clementines with hot sauce. I never thought of that. Is that good? Because I like mangoes and hot sauce. You just you put them in a jar, throw some hot sauce in there, and shake them around with like either Frank Red Hot or Crystal or whatever, Louisiana hot sauce, and you let them sit for a while. And mangoes and hot sauce is really good. So I at first you would think, okay, clementines and hot sauce, that's a weird combination, and yet I know that mangoes and hot sauce is really good. And then there's these are the pizza pocket things with jam and something, and then it looks like Nutella and lemon jam or something, or lemon jelly, and then the same thing with the grape jelly. So there you go. Thank you for sharing your food choices in the morning, Simon. And then let's see. There's reaction on Puerto Rico. This is fine. and then Ty Alexander, the requisite woo from Ric Flair. There you go. Thanks for sharing the show, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm going to pin something else at the top, though. Now, let's see. I'll pin Avocados Diaboli's link to the where is it? Replace pin message. There you go. If you want to sponsor the show, the best place to do it is at pdognight.live/tip. It is pinned at the top of the chat. All right, let's move on into some news and things that are happening in the world. The special day today. Again, it's not a sports show, but it is opening day for baseball. Yeah, for all you baseball fans and for all you baseball owners. Opening day. Now, I am a little disappointed, to be honest with you, about baseball opening day. I know a lot of people are baseball fans and enjoy baseball and whatnot, but I just think it is sacrilege to have opening day of baseball not be in April. Why are they why is it, anyone know why it's a week early this year? I have no idea. Speaking of April, my birthday's is it next Friday? When is my birthday? It's the 4th. What day is the 4th? Let's see. Let's look this up. And this is just selfless, shameless promotion. My birthday's a week from tomorrow. So yeah, I won't be 61 anymore. Anyway, opening day. Lots of people excited about baseball. Also, the term play ball is trending because, that's how they start every game. Now, this is kind of good. This should make you smile. Back when this is Carl Yastrzemski's grandson. Okay. The young Mike Yastrzemski, grandson of the great Carl Yastrzemski, honors a veteran in this clip. What a wonderful tribute to this gentleman. We need more of this, and let's play ball. Okay, we'll watch the clip because this is a nice clip. Hang on, let me full screen this bad boy. Let's watch this.
How are you?
This is special.
Pleasure to meet you.
And who are you?
Mike Yastrzemski.
Mike Yastrzemski. Oh, my God. I was in love with your dad.
Yeah, Carl Yastrzemski was a great player, man. He was back in the 70s, 80s.
I appreciate everything you've done. So you gonna throw a strike for him or what?
Oh, hell. I don't know if I'll get the ball over to you.
I'll make it look good. How's that sound?
It doesn't take much to make me look better. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
I've been to Europe 6 times in the past 5 years.
What?
I'm going again in June.
Come on. You know how many times I've been to Europe?
0?
0. I got to get over there, huh?
I'm a hero over there.
Well, you're a hero here,
This is heartwarming. I like this.
Oh, I don't think I even deserve this.
Oh, of course you do. This will be fun. It'll be great.
I hope I don't flub up.
So, this World War II vet, they having him throw out the first pitch. How cool is this? Now, obviously, this isn't today. This can't be today.
There's the line.
Today's
Don't step
opening
on the line.
day.
Perfect. All right, you see Mike over there? You see him?
See him right there?
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got it.
That was perfect.
You saved me again, Mike.
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Here, I'll sign it for you real quick.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Oh, thank you guys.
Appreciate
That was an honor.
Yeah, it's great to have another Yastrzemski out there.
JB, pretend you're throwing a hand grenade at a Jap. Oh my God, that's funny as fuck. I was gonna say it was terrible, but it's funny too. Anyway, so yeah, I wasn't gonna play. I was gonna cut the clip off, and I'm like, I'm not cutting this off. This is one of those things where you go, how freaking cool is that? You know, a World War II vet, 102 years old, gets to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game. So anyway, let's play ball. Happy opening day for people who appreciate baseball. Also yesterday, oh, by the way, thank you, JB, another trace in the tip jar, who says, I bought mine off Amazon. A real quick synopsis. It's about the fall of Japanese-controlled Manchuria seen through the eyes of Kaji, a socialist and a pacifist. From labor camp supervisor to imperial soldier to Soviet POW, a deep look into the human condition. I like it. I got to check it out. Someone said it was on Max too, but you got it on Amazon. I see you wrote that in the chat. So again, it's called the Human Condition Trilogy. So something to check out on video. Welcome, by the way, Reaccion Puerto Rico's in the house, and Jeff Overturf. What's up? Simon Wilkins. And that's about it. That's all I got to say about that. So thank you for sponsoring the show. If you can, at the links at the top, or if you want to get my attention, dollars get my attention. So there you go. Tip jars up the links. What was this? God, we're only still at 16 people. I wonder what's going on. Maybe the notifications aren't going out. Anyway, all right. After opening day yesterday, apparently the durable goods orders came out in the economic news. And it's interesting to watch people talk about economic news on the internet, only because the wildly different takes people have on it. And, you know, and even the ones, some people are excited that durable goods orders are up. So here's one here. For example, let's see. February, the Richmond CFO survey was already showing recession fears, yet durable goods orders, improving. Watch what they do, not what they say. Hard data for the win again today. Okay, so durable goods orders were up more than expected, which means that there's either people are trying to do more manufacturing or, people are going to buy more shit. Okay, but then you have the Debbie Downers, like this guy, Brian Westbury. No matter what the durable goods reports show today, this entire sector of the U.S. economy has been stagnant for decades. Real, meaning inflation-adjusted durable good orders, are lower today than they were 25 years ago. Well, you got, okay, so he goes back 25 years. Yeah, there. But so, and apparently the trend, they went up. This is, I don't know why this looks like this. Oh, because they don't have it up to 2025 maybe. So durable goods orders are up, but they're lower than they were 25 years ago. Then this guy, durable orders have surged from 5 years ago, but the increase is entirely due to inflation. The amount of actual physical stuff being ordered is down 5% from February 20 to February 2021. Okay. So does that mean that durable goods orders being up is bad? Because it's not due to inflation from last year, right? So anyway, so the point is, people can spin economic news sometimes any way they want. Good morning, Anon. 1, 2, 3. Other economic news. And here's how I'll show you how the right-wing media sees it. Okay, and take it with a grain of salt. This is definitely a right-wing source. Surge in durable goods, demand signals strong Trump economy. Okay, does inflation factored into that? Because usually when they do those, they usually adjust their numbers for inflation. That's why the people saying, "Oh, well, it's all due to inflation." Well, is it, or do they adjust it for inflation? New data shows durable goods orders have risen for a second straight month, drastically, beating expectations. The increase in demand combined with the resilient job market and rising wages suggests the corporate media narrative playing up fears of a recession is likely influencing negative consumer surveys and polling more than economic reality. Durable goods orders were up 0.9% in February, beating expectations of a 1% decline. That's significant because they were expecting a decline. The increase was predominantly fueled by a surge in demand for industrial equipment and consumer goods like computers, appliances, and automobiles, excluding transportation equipment. Durable goods orders were up 0.7%, suggesting broad-based industrial strength being continued. Notably, computer and appliance demand was up 1.1% and 2% respectively. Meanwhile, machinery demand was up 0.2% and automobile demand was up a stunning 4%. Holy goods. With January's data revised to 3.3% increase, this suggests that overall the U.S. manufacturing rebound is far stronger than indicated by consumer confidence surveys and business expectation surveys. Because we are seeing manufacturing increase in the U.S. because of the fear of tariffs. So we'll see how this goes. But again, you can interpret that how you like. In other news, economic news, oh my God, the price of eggs are down nearly 60% since last month. Oh my God, we can eat eggs again. Fuck yeah! Wholesale egg prices continue to fall with costs down 59% from February last month. President Donald Trump's Department of Agriculture took action to put downward pressure on egg prices, including a surge of resources to combat avian flu outbreaks among the U.S. poultry population. And so the quote, Donald Trump says, gas is down, eggs are down, are way down. Groceries are down very substantially. Almost everything is down. Trump said yesterday evening at the White House. Now I'd like to see interest rates come down a bit, and you're going to see billions of dollars, even trillions of dollars coming into our country very soon in the form of tariffs. So, so you probably aren't going to be hearing people bitch about eggs anymore because they would have to admit that the price of eggs has come down after the Biden chicken massacre. Okay. Other news, and I'm just going to go through these quick. Trump has moved to declassify all FBI files relating to the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. Donald Trump has ordered the Federal Bureau of Investigation to declassify all the files related to its 2016 Crossfire Hurricane investigation into purported links between President Donald Trump's campaign and Russia. According to the Department of Justice, the counterintelligence operation was ostensibly tasked with determining whether individuals associated with Trump's presidential campaign were coordinating unwittingly or wittingly, possibly, with the Russian government's effort to interfere in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Remember all that? The FISA court shit and the Steele dossier that prompted all that? Well, they're going to declassify it, and I guarantee you there's going to be some journalists out there combing through all that shit and showing you just how dirty those motherfuckers were. So there you go. That's in that news. Also in the news, the Senate has confirmed COVID lockdown opponent Jay Bhattacharya, Bhattacharya, something like that, to lead the National Institute of Health. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya was confirmed Tuesday night by the Senate in a party line vote to lead the National Institutes of Health. The Senate voted 53-47 to confirm Bhattacharya. Now, this is just, you can tell this is some partisan bullshit. Like, there's no reason Democrats should have voted against this man. A Stanford School of Medicine medical professor Bhattacharya has promised to bring more accountability to the National Institute of Health, which oversees tens of billions of dollars in federal grant dollars. So, and look, maybe, never mind. He said the mission of the National Institute of Health is to address the health needs of the American people and have and to expand life expectancy of the American people. And we have not achieved that. It's flatlined, Bhattacharya said during the confirmation hearing earlier this month before the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee. So I think this is great. AD, of course. I mean, he is Indian. He must be a good doctor. But he was also one of those professors, people that got censored for his views on the COOF, the famous COVID-19, and especially when he dared to say that it's possible, dared to say it was possible that it came from a lab. He also is a critic of the lockdowns, the way the vaccines were rolled out, the efficacy of the vaccines. So he was persona non grata to the Biden administration and to most Democrats, and maybe that's why they refused to vote for him, even though he was right, assholes. Okay, moving on. Also, Trump administration news. What was this? Oh, why did I pick this article? Oh, the Consumer Finance Protection Agency. By the way, right now, I think the Senate is voting on for somehow this. I don't even know how this bill got past cloture in the Senate, but there was a U.S. regulation on overdraft fees in banking, and I don't remember what they made it counted it down to, but they're removing that regulation on bank overdraft fees, and a lot of people like Elizabeth Warren and other. The socialist end of the Democratic Party are just up in arms that the banks are going to be able to charge overdraft fees for people who overdraft their accounts. And I understand that some people tend to do that more than others. But it seems like a responsibility. Look, when I was young, in my 20s, I hated paying overdraft fees, but they happened often in college because I was an idiot and never paid attention to what was in my bank account. But once I started losing $15 a shot, which is what it was back then, I thought, maybe I need to stop doing this because I can't afford to do this too often. And so, yeah, avocado stabbing, yeah. So then I tried not overdrafting my account. And I was like amazed at how much more better I was able to function with the money that I had instead of paying overdraft fees. So it's a weird thing. But anyway, so the Consumer Finance, Protection Board, whatever, went after a specific company. That's what this article is about. November 2024, the Biden administration's Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which is Elizabeth Warren's pet project and one of 17 different things that regulate banks, fined Townstone Financial, a small mortgage company in Chicago, $105,000 for statements the company's owner had made about crime in the city. Did you catch that? Not because they did something. They went after them politically because they made a political statement. The police are the only ones between that area turning into a real war zone and keeping it kind of where it's at, Barry Sterner said in 2016. So now the Trump administration is pressing a court for the green light to give the money back. On Wednesday, the CFPB, we'll just call it that, asked the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois to void the settlement agreement the Biden administration reached with Townstone, a move that would allow the Bureau to return the money to the company forked over to the government as part of the agreement. It is a belated mea culpa from an agency that nearly bankrupted a small business owner over political speech, and comes after President Donald Trump signed an executive order instructing agency heads to correct past misconduct related to censorship. And so they went after this company because the CEO of the company made a political statement. Well, I don't even know. Is that a political statement? Talking about how, here, let me read this again. He said about crime in the city, the police are the only ones between that area turning into a real war zone and keeping it kind of where it's at. And they went after him. And why did the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau say that? I don't know. Maybe they were they saying that they weren't doing mortgages in that area, so they went after him. Anyway, the documents reviewed make it clear the PB lacks sufficient factual predicate for the 7-year saga to which it subjected defendant Townstone, Bishop wrote in a motion. These documents also make clear the agency lawyers were affected by animus towards the publicly expressed viewpoints of Townstone's owner, Barry Sterner. The case, which began during the first Trump administration, centered on a company-hosted radio show that Townstone used to advertise its services. In 5 episodes over a 3-year period, 0.33% of the company's recorded content, the host had also made a handful of comments alluding to inner-city crime. The CFPB cited those comments when it opened an investigation into Townstone in 2017, arguing that the radio banter may have discouraged minorities from applying for credit. Through a consumer testing firm, though a consumer testing firm found that African Americans were not offended by the banter and were in fact more likely to seek out Townstone's services after hearing it, the Bureau ignored the firm's report and sued Townstone for redlining in 2020. So when you say there's redlining in 2020, well, maybe it's because they try to shoehorn a redlining charge into people that have political opinions that are different than their own. So anyway, you can read more details about this. It's a nice long article in the Washington Free Beacon. It will be in the links at the end of the show. Good morning, Ms. Wild Wolf. I'm going to say it like that from now on. Ms. Wild Wolf, how you doing? Good morning. All right. Also in the news, Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. Remember we watched that hearing a long time? Well, I don't know if we watched the hearing. I watched it. Where Donald Trump had Karen Bass and some other local officials of Los Angeles in a room, and they were talking about rebuilding after the fires and stuff, and they were talking about how, well, you got to get make sure these building permits get divvied out, because you're going to have all these regulations on rebuilding, and it's going to make it impossible for the people to rebuild there, right? It's going to make it harder. It's going to take the permits to take longer, or whatever. Well, remember how we said that they were going to try to shoehorn some, maybe not 15-minute city shit, but a bunch of stuff that's going to make your life more expensive to rebuild your home? Karen Bass is pushing a green agenda to rebuild, and it has promised to give faster building permits for those residents who agree to build all electric homes when they rebuild rather than using natural gas. Now, this is so stupid. Now, granted, in California, you probably don't use gas heat as much, but you do use gas cooking. And I would much rather cook with flame than an electric coil or even heat induction. Flame is the best way to cook. It's the most reliable. It shuts off the fastest. It's just where it's at. Okay. Now, so, she said that she's pushing a green agenda in the effort to rebuild Pacific Palisades, offering faster permits for those residents who agree to build all electric homes when they rebuild rather than using natural gas. Last week, Bass issued a new executive order for rebuilding in the Palisades. It read in part, Mayor Karen Bass today issued an emergency executive order to help Palisade residents expedite the rebuilding of their homes and businesses in ways to better protect against wildfires and other climate fuel disasters. Now, how does electric do that? At the mayor's direction, city departments will develop a path forward to 1, streamline permitting for owners who rebuild all electric, more fire-resistant homes. How? I guess they've never heard of electrical fires. Hello, Darren Root, by the way. Promote the use of fire-resistant construction materials to harden homes and businesses in Los Angeles as Los Angeles begin to rebuild. You know, I imagine if your house went up in flames in a wildfire, that probably doesn't need to be said. You're probably going to try to use more fire-resistant materials. And then the third one here, further strengthens the resiliency of utilities and ensure power reliability during severe weather events. Does it? Because when your electric goes out, your gas doesn't usually. At least that's my experience. I've had the electric go out, but I can still cook a hot dog or, you know, the burger on the stove, heat up some soup. Don't need electric for that because I have gas-powered appliances. And even with the electronic ignition, I don't need the electronic ignition. I can turn it on and light the damn thing with the match. So what does she mean, ensure power reliability during severe weather events? She's talking out her ass. Anyway, so there's more details in this article, but that's what they're doing in California. Moving on, New York Post, this is an editorial, but about the Signalgate. I hate it when they name every little foible, scandal, whatever. They end it in gate like Watergate. Hello, Special Can Acid. On the honorable mention list of favorite Canadians. So anyway, and it's a very good article. I'm not going to read it, but here's the headline. Mike Waltz's Signalgate blunder is a hard lesson to be learned for Trump's winning team. Look, the Trump team's having a lot of wins, so Democrats have been desperate for something that can stick, and this Signal thing is the one. At least they're having a field day with it, and are looking for Pete Hegseth to resign. Look, it's a blunder. By the way, there's a curious side thing about this Signalgate thing, because Mike Waltz, what is he? He's associate something security director, whatever. His staffer that may be the one involved in putting the Atlantic editor or whatever on the call, on the text stream, just happens to be, now he's someone who's worked for Republicans for a while, but he's also associated with the law firm that, let's just say, is very anti-Trump. And how he's on someone's staff in this current White House, I don't know. But anyway, she's talking about how, this just doesn't look good, and it doesn't. And I personally still am asking the question, who's going to get fired over this? But where is it? Where is it? Oh, I had a link here. Okay, it's gone. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah. As you peruse the internet, find out about this this associate of Mike Waltz that who was involved in getting Jeffrey Goldberg onto this text thread. It's in fact, I don't like Laura Loomer, but she put out something recently that tells you about that. All right, let me, but also on this note, the question comes up, why did the Atlantic's Goldberg wait 13 days to notify Waltz about a so-called massive security breach? On Monday, the Atlantic editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, confirmed with the Trump administration that national security was breached by his accidental inclusion in a text message group initiated by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, 13 days after he first suspected his inclusion was a mistake. Yeah, why did he wait? Because he wanted a story, because he knew that there was a meeting coming up in the Senate, just to talk, get caught up in the Senate Intelligence Committee. But anyway, instead of immediately addressing the national security threat by asking Waltz if his addition to the Signal text messages app group was a mistake, Goldberg apparently waited 2 weeks. all while suspecting that national security was being breached, before bothering to contact Waltz and other high-ranking officials to question his inclusion in the group. 2 hours after his inquiry on Monday, the Trump administration replied, confirming he was added to the group inadvertently. Goldberg. And how? Why Jeffrey Goldberg? The most anti-Trump publisher. Well, not, I don't know. He's the most. I suppose he's not as bad as Keith Olbermann, but you know what I'm saying. 2 hours after the Trump administration replied, confirming he was added to the group inadvertently, Goldberg then promptly published his story titled, "The Trump Administration Accidentally Texted Me Its War Plans." In his article, he concedes the danger to national security posed by the breach. But why did he wait? So they put just what he posted. Then after receiving the signal connection request, Goldberg, waited 5 days until the military strikes to remove himself from what he reports that was a massive security breach. And then he waited another 8 days before contacting Waltz to see if his inclusion in the group was a mistake. So he got added to the group, paid attention to it for a little bit. 5 days later, the strikes happened. And then he waited another 8 days before he told Waltz, hey, oh, by the way, I got added to that group by accident. Did you know that? So who knows how many unscrupulous characters access other group chats during that time due to faulty invitation process. According to his own timeline account, Goldberg simply monitored the potentially sensitive text exchanges until after the military strikes and waited a total of 13 days before calling attention to the mistake that made him privy to the conversations. And then they go through a timeline of what he was doing. But why? He wanted the story. He wanted to take down the Trump administration. Good morning. Okay, real quick. So we'll move on from that in a second. Good morning, Anna Lynn. How you doing? Also, I see Nomads in the house.
Stop. Hammer time.
Nice to have you here. All right. Moving on. By the way, and also some people would say that by waiting well, let's just say some say that he may have accidentally proved that this Signalgate narrative is, well, I don't know if a hoax is the right word, but I would say bullshit. Okay. Good morning, Lewis. What's up? The Democrats' latest effort to manufacture a Trump administration scandal blew up in their faces this week after Jeffrey Goldberg. Now, this is, again, PJ Media's on the right, so you may agree that it blew up in their faces, or you may agree that it blew up in the faces of the Trump administration. I'm fully aware of that possibility. But this particular writer says that it blew up in the Democrats' latest effort to manufacture the Trump administration scandal blew up in their faces this week after Jeffrey Goldberg, editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, reported that he was somehow included in an encrypted Signal chat group with top administration officials discussing a planned attack on Houthi rebels in Yemen. According to Goldberg, officials discussed classified and/or top-secret war plans. No one disputes that Goldberg was erroneously included in the chat, but the real issue is whether classified or top secret war plans were actually discussed. Now, I'm having a hard time reconciling people who are saying that it wasn't. Just saying, there definitely were plans. They weren't specific plans, but they were in there. They were talking about an attack that happened 5 hours after they were discussing it. But anyway, CIA Director John Ratcliffe and DNI Director Tulsi Gabbard testified that nothing classified or top secret was discussed in the chat. Others in the administration have said the same thing. Are they just CYAing though? I see. Now I don't want them to be like the Biden administration and cover their ass. I'd rather them fire somebody and be not like the Biden administration would be. Just that's my personal opinion. Goldberg had been given the opening to release the chats in their entirety to prove them wrong, but he insisted that he wouldn't. During an interview at the Bulwark with Tim Miller, Goldberg repeatedly evaded calls to produce evidence, raising serious questions about the credibility of his claims. Miller directly challenged Goldberg, pointing out that top Trump administration officials had accused him of lying. Now, the Secretary of Defense and the White House press secretary have said you're lying and have said there are no war plans there, and have said there's no classified information, Miller stated. So the obvious question is, shouldn't you now demonstrate it? Shouldn't you publish the text? Goldberg flat refused. No, because they're wrong. They're wrong, he insisted, offering no proof to back it up. But then he did. Is this before he produced them? This article? Okay, let me see here. Because again, he ended up doing it. Goldberg flatly refused. No, because they're wrong. They're wrong, he insisted, offering no proof to back up his claims. Here's the problem with that claim. In the encrypted chat, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz explicitly mentions the participants' high-side inboxes in reference to the classified system. This made it clear they knew certain topics couldn't be discussed on the Signal platform. Miller pressed Goldberg further in the interview, asking whether he would at least provide alleged messages to congressional intelligence committees. Instead of responding substantively, Goldberg deflected with sarcasm. Wow, what? You want to become my lawyer? He quipped with an annoyed tone. He clearly wasn't comfortable with the line of questioning. I got the sense he was hiding something. As the conversation continued, Goldberg struggled to justify his refusal. Well, he ended up doing it, though. Okay, so they went through all that. Yet on Wednesday, Goldberg published a full chat after all. He went from insisting he was being responsible by not publishing the full chat to publishing it while claiming that in doing so, he was proving the Trump administration was mischaracterizing the sensitivity of the chats. Goldberg went against his self-proclaimed principles when he published the chat. If he truly felt it contained top secret or classified information, the principles he claims he holds dear to would have kept him from releasing it. By releasing the chat in full, he proved his entire narrative about the situation was a hoax. Is that right? Do you agree with that? I'm confused. Goldberg's actions only undermine his claims, revealing he was lying about top secret or classified information being discussed. The content of the chat reveals no war plan or classified details, just a discussion weighing the pros and cons of striking now versus waiting. It's a conversation among cabinet members and staffers on the best way to move forward. After this weekend, the non-story will just be a memory. They're going to milk this for months, I guarantee you. And Goldberg will move on, making other false accusations against the Trump administration. Remember, this is the same guy who had a history of publishing fake stories about President Trump. So does chat, let me ask you something. Does his actually publishing the entire chat thread, does that make him, is that him admitting that it wasn't classified or top secret information? I'm not so sure. Why the likes refresh? I'm only showing 3. Is it? Let me see here. What does mine say? Mine says 13. 26 people, 13 likes, which is still not enough. Hit the like button, people, while you're at it. So anyway, I'm curious. I don't know that it. I mean, if he's saying he's doing this on principle, sure. But to say that, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Put him in prison anyway. Okay, yeah. FTG. Oh, it's FTG Thursday. FTG Jeffrey Goldberg. FTG Jeffrey Goldberg. Ding. There you go. FTG Jeffrey Goldberg. All right. Next. Oh, now apparently there's going to be a lawsuit over this Signal chat now. And unbelievably, the judge who blocked the Trump administration, or in theory, blocked the Trump administration from sending Tren de Aragua gangs out of the country, deporting them, is the same judge that's going to get this lawsuit. Oh, what a wonderful thing. This is insane. How is it that this judge just happens to get this case? The judge who blocked the Trump administration from deporting foreign gang members will hear a lawsuit challenging officials' use of a Signal chat to discuss attack plans. Now, why is this even going to a court? American Oversight alleged in its lawsuit Tuesday that the app Signal, where officials hosted a chat about plans to bomb the Houthis in Yemen, that including Atlantic editor Jeffrey Goldberg, does not comply with federal record laws. That's interesting because guess who implemented the use of Signal in the United States government? it was not someone who rhymes with bottled crump. Biden authorized its use for government communications. Upon information and belief, under current state record-keeping rules and practices, officials do not forward Signal messages, including messages from the Signal chat, to their official email accounts, thereby barring American oversight and other FOIA Freedom of Information Act requesters from obtaining responsive records to which they are otherwise entitled under FOIA, particularly if such Signal messages are set to auto-delete, the lawsuit states. And who's getting the case? Judge James Boasberg, an Obama appointee who previously ordered the administration to halt flights carrying members of the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang. He was assigned the Signal case. Now, what's fascinating, I guess, here, who are they suing? Are they suing the Trump administration? Are they suing the U.S. government? It makes no sense. So anyway, it says we're suing several top Trump administration officials who discuss high-level national security deliberations over Signal. So now I want to know, FTG Biden, FBG, what's his face? Boasberg, James. Yeah, James Boasberg. What the fuck's his name? Yeah, Judge James. This guy. All right. So it's fascinating to me. I want to know who in the Biden administration was using Signal and why was it put on government devices? Who, because obviously it was authorized during that. And in fact, there was guidance. One of the agencies, or people who decide administrative guidance rules, there was guidance on how to use Signal for various discussions in federal government after they put it on government devices during the Biden administration. So now it makes me wonder, who in the Biden administration was using Signal and what things did they not archive? Somebody had this idea because they automatically delete. It's kind of like, what's that thing that kids use, Snapchat? I don't use Snapchat. My wife does. I don't. So anyway, moving on. Speaking of Tren de Aragua gangs, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is touring the El Salvador prison where they sent the deported gang members. This was just an excuse to put Kristi Noem on the screen for Avocados Diablo because we know that he thinks that she is a fine individual. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem toured a prison in El Salvador where hundreds of deported alleged gang members associated with Tren de Aragua and MS-13 are being held. In a video next, she thanked El Salvador President Nayib Bukele and the country of El Salvador for their partnership with the United States. So here's Kristi Noem.
Here's today and visiting this facility. And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists.
All these brothers in the background, she's out right in front of these motherfuckers. They're thinking, oh boy, if those bars weren't here, baby, there'd be a different meaning of Tren de Aragua. Anyway,
here and to incarcerate them and
can't believe I said that
for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will
Hey,
be
I'm telling you.
But no,
who said this is a great, nice photo op?
In our toolkit that we will
I tell you, they
crimes against the American people.
Yeah, it's going to make you think twice about breaking our laws. I got to tell you. Speaking of which, and someone mentioned MS-13. Yes, they did apparently find, just this morning, I guess, breaking news. Pam Bondi put on X, I'm proud to announce that early this morning, our brave law enforcement officers conducted a successful operation that captured a top MS-13 national leader. The DOJ will not rest until we make America safe again. They, here's her, I guess this is her mentioning it here in the video on Fox that actually reported on this. Let's play this clip.
First reaction is all of our law enforcement officers are safe. That was the number one thing. They're safe. They executed a clean, safe operation, and the bad guys in custody. And thanks to the FBI, we got one of the worst of MS-13 off the streets this morning.
We were able to be out here in force to show the American people, to be here in person, that this means a lot to her and the mission. Safety is our primary concern of these communities, and we effectuated that today.
All right, so they caught MS-13 gang member. Now someone's saying that's the first woman they have seen in a while, obviously. And Lord Stan, when you say there are plenty of women in that prison, oh no, not in that prison. Oh hell no, that prison, they are so heavily monitored and one thing, those prisoners are safe from each other, but they're not safe from the guards. They are really strict in that prison, so they're not playing with that shit. Let's see. Here's Kash Patel on the same thing here.
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops, and we're going to continue to let good cops be cops across this country. President Trump gave us the executive decision to go after and safeguard our communities. General Bondi is our warrior of justice leading that charge. Governor Youngkin, it's an honor to be a partner in this operation with you and U.S. Attorney Siebert. This is the mandate we have. Right now we have an American dying every 7 minutes from a drug overdose. That is a national security crisis we have not seen ever before. We have a woman or child being raped every 6.5 minutes in this country. We have a homicide twice an hour. No part of that metric is a safe and secure America. But thanks to the brave leadership of this administration and the folks that you see here, we are returning our communities to safety. As you heard, we took down this morning a top leader of MS-13. That is not done easily. That is done with brilliant law enforcement.
Okay, so there you go. So that's good news. Let's see what else. Okay, so here it is. Early Thursday morning, federal law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, DOJ, and ICE, and local police in Virginia, executed a coordinated operation leading to the arrest of a high-ranking MS-13 gang member in Woodbridge, Virginia. That's why Woodbridge is also trending. The individual was one of the top leaders of MS-13 U.S. operations, managing the East Coast network. The operation signalizes a significant crackdown on gang activity near the nation's capital. So, cheers to that. All right, and that's why Woodbridge, it was in Woodbridge, Virginia. I don't need to go through that. But on the other hand, Trump's deportation block has been upheld by a D.C. appeals court. So, the immortal words of Paula Abdul, is it 2 steps forward and 1 step back or some shit, whatever. Opposites attract. Anyway, in a significant legal ruling, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals has denied. Hang on a second. Let me do something real quick here. In a significant ruling, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals has denied the Trump administration's attempt to resume deportations under the Alien Enemies Act. This decision upholds a previous order by Judge James Blasberg blocking the deportation of suspected Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador. The court's 2-1 ruling reaffirms the injunction preventing these deportations. While legal reviews continue, there was someone dissented in the court, so it wasn't a 3-0 decision. It'll probably go to the full D.C. Circuit en banc, meaning all the justices on that bench, and then maybe even to the Supreme Court, someone named Judge Walker dissenting, and in the links here you can find the actual decision. Now, on a related note, the UK has banned ninja swords. I don't know. They have knife attacks and all kinds of stuff, and they try to ban guns here. And in the UK, they banned ninja swords. The Home Office of the UK announced a forthcoming ban on ninja swords effective August 1st, 2025, following a campaign led by the family of Ronan Kanda, a murdered teenager. The ban will make it illegal to possess, sell, make, or import these swords, with penalties including up to 6 months in jail for possession on private property. So even if you have one displayed above your fireplace in the UK, you could get 6 months in jail. Holy shit. The initiative named Ronan's Law aims to reduce knife crime by removing these specific weapons from circulation. Well, are they banning kitchen knives too? Holy shit. Well, ninja or katana, either one, any kind of, they're going to ban all sorts. Good morning, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
So anyway, yeah, Ninja, Keir Starmer announces, confirmed, ninja swords will be banned by this summer. When we promised action, we'll take it. Wow. How about you arm your police officers instead of tracking down people who make controversial internet posts? How about you patrol the streets and stop the knife crime, you dickheads? Holy shit. Knife crime is at epidemic levels and ruining lives across Britain. As Prime Minister, I'll crack down on the sales of these lethal weapons once and for all. Knives? Lethal weapons? Are you going to, what are your chefs going to use? Spoons to cut their, to cut meat? What the fuck? Ninja swords will be banned. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there just attacking people with ninja swords. Most of your knife crimes are concealable knives. But yeah, when you said, someone asked if it was ninja swords or katanas, for example, right here, is that a ninja sword or is that a katana? I don't know the difference. But here it is. Law banning ninja swords is set to come into force by summer after a relentless campaign by the family of a murdered teenager. And it'll make it illegal to possess, sell, make, or import ninja swords from the 1st of August. So this is, you know what? How about heavy duty public prosecutions of people who kill people? That may be a better idea. I just found it humorous. Moving on. And then defund NPR. Let's go to the main topic, which I waited way too long to get to. But defund was trending this morning. And so there is an effort to defund the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is apparently partially funds NPR and PBS. And here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. After listening to what we've heard today, we will be calling for the complete and total defund and dismantling of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. NPR and PBS can hate us on their own time. It's time American taxpayers stop footing the bill. So here, I'm going to show you a couple different clips here. We'll show you Marjorie Taylor Greene's closing statement.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting is using taxpayer dollars to actively suppress the truth, suppress diverse viewpoints, and produce some of the most outlandish, ludicrous content. After listening to what we've heard today, we will be calling for the complete and total defund and dismantling of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
You're too close to your mic.
Here's how it works in America every single day, private businesses operate on their own without government funding. We believe that you all can hate us on your own dime.
Okay, so that's what she said. Now, here's one of the ones who are saying, oh my gosh, they're going to take away Sesame Street. This is Congressman Robert Garcia, who tries very hard to be like Jasmine Crockett, but he's just not good at it. So here we go. Just jump back, by the way, the top MS. Yes. Oh, yeah, we just talked about that reaction. Oh, we missed it. You must have missed it. We did talk about the MS-13 leader. So here is Robert Garcia. And I don't know how much of this I can stand. I haven't listened to the whole thing. But notice who he has in the background. You're defunding Elmo? Okay, apparently dipshit doesn't know that Elmo is no longer part of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. But anyway.
Now, Ms. Kerger, the American people want to know, is Elmo now, or has he ever been, a member of the Communist Party of the United States?
Oh, isn't he
yes or no?
Cute?
No.
Now, are you sure, Ms. Kerger? Because he's obviously red.
Well, he is a puppet, but no.
Not a serious. This guy's not serious at all.
He also has a very dangerous message about sharing and helping each other. He's indoctrinating our kids that sharing is caring. Now, maybe he's part of a major socialist plot, and maybe that's why the chairwoman is having this hearing today. But
you know what's funny about this too? Sesame Street profits, I believe, are nearly $250 million, or generates $250 million revenue a year in just selling shit, like selling toys and Elmos and whatever. How is it that Sesame Street, which has nothing to do with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting anymore, how is it that Sesame Street wouldn't be able to survive if there were no public television? It's obviously one of the most cherished franchises in children's television history. Going back to 1969, when I was a young lad. It's over. It's going on. It'll be 60 something 5 years old. It's coming on 60 years of Sesame Street in a few years. The most cherished public children's broadcasting programming on the planet. How is it that it can't survive without the Corporation for Public Broadcasting? Representative Garcia, you dumbass.
let's talk about somebody else. Let's talk about Cookie Monster.
Let's talk about Cookie Monster.
We know that Health Secretary RFK Jr. is coming out against fast food and baked goods. Are we silencing pro-cookie voters? Yes or no?
Okay, you get the point. This motherfucker's not serious. Let's see if he yep, he goes to Big Bird, then to Bert and Ernie, which may or may not be a gay couple. Oh, wait, let's see what he says. I want to see what he says about Bert and Ernie. Let's hear this.
The extreme liberal agenda that you're all pushing, I think, doesn't stop there. This, of course, is Bert and Ernie. Now, these two guys actually...
Okay, so his whole testimony is not serious. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, the CEO of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, or NPR, excuse me, the CEO of NPR, who called Trump a deranged racist sociopath, tells Congress there's no political bias at the taxpayer-funded broadcaster. Now, there's an interesting thing about this too. On one hand, we hear that NPR or public television, well, they don't get a significant amount of funding from the federal government. I mean, it's just a little pittance that they get, and they're funded by the viewers and listeners. All their fundraisers, right? Then on the next thing is say, well, if the government doesn't fund the public broadcasting, who will have public broadcasting? Where will all this great programming go? Now, back in the 80s, when cable became kind of all the rage and everyone was getting all this extra stuff and they started getting all these channels, how many channels are there out there? Even on broadcast channels, because I don't have cable anymore, but even on my broadcast TV, okay, just playing over the air with an antenna, and then between Netflix and Max and whatever, all the things, there are so many things, so much programming that people can get that matches anything that you would get on public broadcasting, except for maybe the political commentary, maybe. Why do we still have public broadcasting? What programming on public broadcasting could not be presented on any of the commercial TV, the Discovery Network, all those stupid channels, okay? There's thousands of channels to choose from. Why can't any of that programming be moved? Or why can't it sustain itself in a commercial way? So, NPR CEO Catherine Maher, who once called President Trump a deranged racist sociopath, testified Wednesday to Congress that she has never seen political bias at the taxpayer-funded outlet. I had a hard time not laughing at that. Good morning, Lady Cara. Nice to see you. The taxpayer-funded outlet, a comment that provoked laughter. Here's the exchange.
Is NPR biased?
I have never seen any instance of political bias determining editorial.
I don't want the one with the music, but it's just hilarious. I've never seen any political bias at NPR. Listen to this line of questioning from Jim Jordan.
No.
Do you believe that white people inherently feel superior to other races?
I do not.
You don't?
Oh, there's her tweet. I grew up feeling superior. How white of me, because I was from New England. And in my part of the country, we didn't have slaves, so I've been taught. What the hell is this coming up on my screen? Turn that shit off. Okay, here we go. Okay.
You tweeted something to that effect. You said, I grew up feeling superior. How white of me.
I think I was probably reflecting on what it was to grow up in an environment where I had lots of advantages.
You believe that America believes in black plunder and white democracy.
I don't believe that.
Oh, she tweeted it! She tweeted it.
You tweeted that in reference to a book you were reading at the time, apparently, The Case for Reparations.
I don't think I've ever read that book, sir.
Do you think the white people should pay
Wait. I don't think I've read that book. Didn't she reference it in this tweet? This right here. I appreciate the day off to finally fully read The Case for Reparations. She didn't read that book? Oh, maybe she lied about reading.
Do you think the white people should pay reparations?
I've never said that, sir.
In January
never said that.
Yes, the North. Yes, all of us. Yes, America. Yes, our original collective sin and unpaid debt. Yes, reparations. Yes, on this day.
I think it was just a reference to the idea that we all owe much to
Oh, so you didn't mean to do it. You just meant to say it because it made you look good on X, the app formerly known as Twitter.
Our way to frame what you tweeted. NPR also promoted a book called In Defense of Looting. Do you think that that's an appropriate...
In Defense of Looting. That's what you get from NPR.
Use of taxpayer dollars?
I'm unfamiliar with that book, sir, and I don't believe that was at my time at NPR.
You tweeted that you read that book.
So apparently you're lying in the trial. So anyway, so they give a list of things that she's said in the past, but also Jordan pointed out that of like 87 of the employees that work at NPR, like the full-time employees at NPR, 87 of 87 employees that work at NPR that he was, I don't know what division it is, 87, their news division, of 87 employees at NPR, 87 were Democrats. Every single one of them. That's hilarious. So anyway, there's a good article here in City Journal from Christopher Rufo. 10 questions for Catherine Marr, which I'm not going to go through, but it's a great article, so I suggest you read it. And then also, you're a rabid progressive. CEO of Taxpayer Fund at NPR skewered for left-wing statements and pro-censorship views. Is this the one? This is, how long is this one? Is this?
Ms. Marr.
Nah, we're going to do 5 minutes. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think, is Jim Jordan's questioning in here too? Or, no, this is just Marjorie Taylor Greene talking to her, but just going through all her public statements of how, like the ones in the last little clip there. So, yeah, but the idea that NPR, I said NPR because it's Minnesota Public Radio, is not biased is pretty funny. Although they did used to have, what was that guy? It was not the firing line. They used to have Buckley on NPR, but they've got rid of all the conservative people on NPR. Most of them are dead, and they never re-upped any conservative people on NPR or public radio or public broadcasting. So, and in particular, NPR, National Public Radio, more like ASM NPR. Yeah. Yes, today we're going to talk about immigration with Democrat Representative Adam Schiff. That's my NPR voice. But yeah, it was hilarious. If you see clips of it, it's definitely worth the watch. Now, while I do have many, many other things on the agenda, for example, the American Medical Association, people are talking about that today. And in fact, let me show you this little article here. So, good morning. The American Medical Association is part of the public health death cult. Apparently, the American Heart Association, was paid off. Wait, this is not American. That's not the American Medical Association. That's the American Heart Association. The American Heart Association was paid off by Procter & Gamble to say heart disease was caused by saturated fat and not seed oils. That's not the AMA, though. Here's something, though, that... Here's something that the AMA started doing. Apparently, American Medical Association thinks taxpayers should fund $300,000 uterus transplants to help transgender women get pregnant. Okay. And where are they going to deliver those children? Apparently a lot of C-sections and ripping front holes. Go figure. That's why they're trending. What else? I'll just do quick one-liners. Lindsey Graham's trending because for some reason Donald Trump is supporting Lindsey Graham to be reelected in South Carolina. And a lot of Republicans are like, why? Fuck Lindsey Graham. He's a piece of shit. But he supports warmongering efforts. Someone here's what Trump wrote. Senator Lindsey Graham is working incredibly hard for the great people of South Carolina, a state I love and won big in 2016, 2020, and 2024. Lindsey has been a wonderful friend to me and has always been there when I needed him. As the chair of the Senate Budget Committee, Lindsey is fighting tirelessly to grow the economy, lower taxes, and eliminate government waste. Lindsey is also relentlessly focused on helping us secure the border, stop migrant crime, strongly support our great military vets, promote American energy dominance, and defend our always under siege Second Amendment and ensure peace through strength. So, yes, Lindsey Graham is good on certain issues, and on some, he's a shitbag. I don't know. Could South Carolina do better, maybe? I don't know. I think maybe. And again, like he rips on Thomas Massey, but praises Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, who once said, quote, tell Donald Trump to go to hell. Donald Trump is a race-baiting xenophobic bigot. That was 2015. That's before Donald Trump became president. But since then, this is Lindsey Graham with Donald Trump, which maybe is okay. I mean, as long as he's on the team, who knows? All right, and then Mitt Romney, speaking of, and here it is. Trump backs Lindsey Graham. South Carolina's political debate heats up. Former President Donald Trump has endorsed Senator Lindsey Graham in his re-election bid in South Carolina, highlighting Graham's contribution to the economy, national security, and conservative politics. But there's a mix of reactions because some think Lindsey Graham's, well, whatever he is. Nobody knows. Mitt Romney, speaking of rhinos, Mitt Romney's also trending because people are talking about how, because this dude wrote this. Here's this. Here's the post that got everyone talking about Mitt Romney. Someone named Spencer Hakimian. This was barely a decade ago. Two competent, fully coherent men in their 50s, 60s, disagreeing at the margins about ways to make our society a little more productive. Nothing but respect for one another. We've completely spiraled out of control politically against them. Wait a minute. Whoa. What? Isn't Mitt Romney the candidate that was going to throw grandma off the cliff? Isn't Mitt Romney the candidate that Joe Biden said is going to put you back in chains? Isn't Mitt Romney the guy who had his dog on the roof of his car? The fact that they were calling Mitt Romney a Nazi back then. God, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway, that just fueled a shit ton of people talking about Mitt Romney. So you can go through that thread. Enough about that. I want to finish the show today, though, however, with Women's History Month. Women's History Month. Donald Trump apparently had an event for Women's History Month. And let's see, there's a lot of people are putting this, there's a bunch of different clips here. Let's just look at a few of them. One of them is about two genders. So here, let's some clips of Donald Trump during Women's History Month. Apparently classic Donald John Trump. I didn't watch the whole thing, but here we go. Let's go here. Let's start with this one. Now, this is a Trump favorable account called Breaking 911. Let's see what clip they put, talking about two genders. And this is the one that probably has caused the most controversy, I guess. Crazy.
No matter how many surgeries you have or chemicals you inject, if you're born with male DNA in every cell of your body, you can never become a woman. You're not going to be a woman.
True.
And that's why last month I proudly signed a historic executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports, and it was very popular and very...
Okay,
No
so there you go. There you go. All right, so that's the comment that got this trending topic. During Women's History Month event at the White House, President Donald Trump emphasized traditional gender roles. Did he? No. Traditional gender roles? Or just the traditional labeling of people, gender, based on their sex? They didn't say it. The roles, no, he didn't say anything about roles of what women or men should be doing or whatnot, other than women's sports should be women, physiologically, by stating there are only two genders, and criticized past administrations for what he described as radical gender ideology. True. Also making lighthearted comments about IVF, referring to himself as potentially the fertilization president. And these remarks spared. But anyway, there's criticism and whatever. So here's Aaron Rupar, an anti-Trump person. Let's see what he decided to highlight from this this speech. Let's see.
You're doing great on it, and we're going to have tremendous goodies in the bag for women too. The women, between the fertilization and all of the other things that we're talking about, it's going to be great.
As far as IVF, he was talking about.
We're joined today. Fertilization. I'm still very proud of it. I don't care. I'll be known as the fertilization president, and that's okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. I've been called much worse. Actually, I like it, right? I like it.
So anyway, talking about his support for IVF, in vitro fertilization. Let's see. Charlie Kirk, who's very pro-Trump. Let's see what he highlights on this. Is this the same clip about two genders? Probably. Let's see.
No matter how many surgeries you
have,
that's
the same two genders quote. There is also, related to this topic, Trump's executive order on gender in sports. Former President Donald Trump has issued an executive order that prohibits men from participating in women's sports, emphasizing that biological sex is determined by DNA and remains unchanged by surgeries and hormone treatments. The policy has sparked a significant debate on gender identity. Really? Same old debate to me. Proponents of the order argue that it preserves the integrity of women's sports by adhering to biological distinctions. Critics, however, see this as a direct challenge to transgender rights, arguing that such policies overlook the complexities of gender identity. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And those complexities of gender identity still do not change the physiology of sexual identity, as in physiological difference between the male and female of the human species. So if gender is just a social construct, well, that's just in your mind. But your body is a reality, and the physiology and development of bodies doesn't change just because you change your pronouns. Sorry. And that's a reality that maybe the psychologists and doctors and everybody else who are on the gender ideology train should explain to their clients that, yes, we can artificially change your physiology, but it doesn't mean that your actual physiology changes. If you go off these drugs, it's going to go right back. And there are some basic realities that you must face in the world that may not please you, but they are realities and they can't be changed. Sorry, there's only so much we can do. We cannot retrofit every physiological difference between male and female when we do your surgery. So, I'm just like, whatever. Trump upholds biological truth. You can never become a woman if you're born with male DNA. So anyway, that's the clip. Let's see, what else do I got in articles? I'll just go through some headlines. Jasmine Crockett clearly is the flavor of the day when it comes to Democrats. And so there's several articles about Jasmine Crockett. First, a police report was filed after Jasmine Crockett appears to assault a reporter asking about political violence. If you haven't seen this clip, this is so.
Hello, Congresswoman.
Horse manure.
So this Luma person is trying to ask questions, and he stays.
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Now watch.
Will you condone violence?
Now, she put a statement out claiming that this person trying to get a soundbite violated her safety, claiming that he got in her space. Does that look like he went after her, or does she have to go out of her way to batter him? That's legally battery. I don't know if it's assault, but it's certainly battery. Unwanted physical contact is battery. Was he in her way, or did she reach out to him?
Comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence?
Obviously, he wasn't in front of her because she's not looking at him when she does it. She actually reaches to her left to do it. Some people are saying that he should be charged. Anyway, in that case, there was a police report filed, and we'll see how that goes. And then just for some reason, there's so many articles about her. Flashback back when Jasmine Crockett attacked Byron Donalds for interracial marriage. How long is this clip?
And if we continue to put people into office, and that even means some of our skinfolk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, like, I mean, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow.
He didn't say that.
Is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because
what he said, our achievement level in much of the country, because we had our own businesses, and Jim Crow was bullshit, but also we kind of gave up a lot of business, and because apparently the white man's eyes was colder or something, and we got to get back to growing in black communities. If you're in a black community, okay, we got to get back to having businesses of our own too, and enjoy the American dream like many other ethnic communities do. That was his point. Not that life was better during Jim Crow. So she's lying right there.
Married a white woman, and so you think that whitewashed you. I'm not really sure like what it is,
well,
but
you
I need
even be married to a white woman under Jim
correct,
Crow.
Correct, and it's a.
Who said he was? In what parts of the country? Certainly in the South, sure, there was laws against that, but that has nothing to do with what he said. That's the funny thing about it. Anyway, so then someone here is talking about Jasmine Crockett, Queen of Ghetto Speak, which is fascinating because she went to a $35,000 a year private school growing up, and she's let's just say she's part of a very, very wealthy family in St. Louis. And then there's one other, all kinds of articles about her. The fresh new Dem leader, Jasmine Crockett. No wonder Trump is throwing. I don't know if her game is, her shtick is playing well in the nation. I'm just curious because she gets a lot of attention. Is her, is it playing well though amongst people? And who knows, but, I'm sure we'll get more information about that at some future date when you start seeing polls. She's popular in her district in Texas, but I even wonder if people in her district are getting and she won by a lot. She won re-election by a whole lot. But now, ever since she won re-election, she seems to be amplifying the affect, not affect, but the affect even more. So it's a fascinating thing to watch, and we'll see how successful that's going to make her in national politics and beyond. We'll see if that happens. Because some people are saying, hey, the next Democratic ticket should be an AOC Jasmine Crockett ticket. If you want Republicans to win 49 states, just go ahead with that. I'm just saying. Anyway, all right, gang. that is all for today. Tomorrow, Free for All Friday Q&A. Here are today's links in the chat. There we go. And that's it for today. FTG Jasmine Crockett. Everyone have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early. And I got to go. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.